Welcome back to Money and She, and this week is yung pinakaabangan nyo na second part of IPO analysis for Converge ICT. Kasi malapit-lapit na ba? September na. So we have 1 month left before we actually decide whether to buy its IPO or not. This week we will be discussing its financial statement. So we will not be projecting yet yung future. We will not do the valuation yet. That will be on part 3. For part 2, we will dig deeper in this in its financial soundness from 2016 to 2019. We will do a lot of analysis, which includes horizontal, vertical, and ratio analysis for Converge ICT. Para naman serious tayo ngayon. Kasi yung before na mga IPOs natin, minadali natin. So, this time, we're trying to evaluate it properly. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And hit the notification button para lagi kang updated. So, if you're ready, let's start na. Now, you are looking at the financial statement of Converge ICT. And, as you can see, mahaba siya. Ang dami nating tinype dyan, nakakaloka. Pero, let's start now with our horizontal analysis. Let's start with the income statement. So, ang horizontal analysis, we are doing this to compare year on year, ano ba yung performance ng company. Like, for example, ngayon, i-discuss natin first, revenues, diba? Revenues. Yan. Bakit importante ang revenue? Ito kasi yung kita, 'di ba? Sales. So, if you can see, ano ba yung taon-taon na nangyayari sa kita ni Converge? So, as you can see, tumataas siya per year. So, etong 2016, ito yung base year natin. And we compare every year from the base year. So, from year 0, tumaas siya ng 55% for year 1, which is 2017. Nung pangalawang taon, 2018, from 0, umakyat siya ng 167%. So, yun yung tinaas niya. So, over 3 years, makita nyo, tumaas yung revenue niya ng 383%. Which is good, diba? If you look at this. Pero, if you look at the cost of services, ito naman yung gastos mo. So, ibig sabihin, bawat kita mo, may gastos ka, di ba? Alangan namang kita lang, di ba? So, kunyari, nagbenta ka ng pandesal ng 5 pesos. So, yung magkano mo binili yung pandesal, 3 pesos, yun yung cost mo. So, yung gross profit mo is yung 2 pesos na kinita mo. So, yung cost of services mo is tumataas din siya every year. And as you can see, by 2019, tumaas siya ng 578%. Akalain mo yun? Ang laki, diba? So, pagka kinumpare mo siya doon sa revenue, makikita nyo na mas malaki yung tinataas nung cost niya kesa sa revenue niya. Diba? So, bakit yun? Question yun. The next is gross profit. Diba? So, makita nyo, from year 0, 2016, tumataas every year. Diba? 53%, 120%, and 279% ang in-increase ng gross profit mo from 2016 to 2019. Diba? So, mas malaki na yung tubo mo. Tubo, yan. Yun yung ibig sabihin nun. So, ito naman, general and administrative expenses, provision and impairment on trade and other receivables, and other income or loss net. Ito naman, hindi natin masyadong isa-isahin, pero ito yung cost mo to do that, to do the transaction overhead ba. So, kunyari, kanina pinag-usapan natin yung pandesal mo, 'di ba? Nagbenta ka ng 5 pesos, tapos binili mo siya ng 3 pesos. Pero hindi mo in-account kasi doon na kailangan mong mamasahe papunta doon sa tindahan. Sabihin na natin yung binabayaran mo sa tricycle is 10 piso. So, pero ang nabebenta mo kasi is 10 piraso, ganyan. So, parang i-divide mo siya sa 10, so piso per item. Pero yun, may overhead cost ka kasi, may ano ka, transportation, yung living expenses mo and everything. Kasama yun sa other expenses mo na hindi directly attributable dun sa mismo binebenta mo. Okay? Yun yung tinatawag na other expenses para mapunta ka sa profit from operations. Kasi bakit? Siyempre, kailangan mo yun eh. Kailangan mo mamasahe papunta doon. Kung hindi, hindi kaya kasama sa operations yun. So, profit operations. From operations. So, as you can see, pataas din naman siya every year. So, nag improve siya. Another one is finance cost. Ito naman, cost to. 'Di ba? So, ang ano nito, every year, pataas din ng pataas yung utang mo. Ibig sabihin, nagbabayad ka ng interest, 'di ba? Kaya finance cost, nagbabayad ka um, ng pag-finance dun sa mga projects mo. So, malaki rin yung ini-increase niya. So, as you can see, net income every year is also increasing. So, from 2016, nag-increase yung net income mo to 239% in 2019. So, it's a good performance, 'di ba? So, now we move on to the vertical analysis. So, sa horizontal analysis, di ba check mo per year? So, sa vertical analysis naman, titingnan mo kung paano yung utilization niya. And we'll discuss that now. So, for example, revenue, di ba? Usually, for income statement, you always compare to the revenue. Parang ilang percent nung revenue ang ginagamit mo sa kung ano man. Yung 2016, 35% nung revenue mo is napupunta sa cost of services. 'Di ba? Kanina pinag-usapan natin na every year tumataas yung cost of services and mas malaki yung tinataas ng cost of services as compared to the revenues. So, here you can see, every year din tumataas yung component nung cost of services mo. So, dati, nung 2016, 35% lang yung ginagastos mo per customer. Sabihin na natin, sa isang customer kung 2,000 pesos, 35% nun is cost of service mo. And, ngayong 2019, 49% na, 'di ba? So, instead of, kunyari 50%, parang from 2,000, 1,000 nun is gastos mo. Anong reason nito? Pwedeng binabaan nila yung presyo nila, kaya tumaas yung cost of service. Pwede namang lumaki yung cost of service nila talaga. So, hindi natin masasabi yan unless we actually know kung ano yung, kunyari, number of subscribers. Siguro i-check natin yun later on. Pero right now, yun lang yung pwedeng scenario na binaba nila yung subscription per customer, tapos kaya tumaas yung cost of services mo. Pwede rin kasi binaba nila yon. That's the reason kung bakit mas dumami yung subscriber mo at tumaas yung revenue mo. So, decision nila yon. Hindi natin masasabi yon kung tama ba yun or mali, 'di ba? As we can see, tumaas yung revenue niya. Nagdodoble siya every year. So, baka effective naman yung pagbaba niya ng presyo. Yun nga lang, naapektuhan yung cost mo, 'di ba? In terms of per unit. So, yung gross profit mo, of course, bumababa rin every year. Like, for example, yung general and administrative expense, medyo, siya, nasa 15% siya palagi, di ba? So, tumaas lang siya nung 2018. Ito yata yung may sunog sila or something. But then, makita nyo, average ginagamit nila for general and administrative expense is 15% of the revenue. And then, provision on impairment and trade, 4%. Ayan. Ngayon, tumaas at 2019, 6%. So, we move on now to finance costs. So, as you can see, di ba kanina, per year, tumaas siya 1,000%. Pero ilang percent ba yan nung revenue? So, sa finance cost, makita mo, kahit na ang laki nung gina-jump niya every year dun sa horizontal analysis, 1.4% lang siya nung revenue. 'Di ba? And 3% nung 2019, 3% lang siya nung revenue, yung binabayad mo sa interest. Punta na tayo sa profit for the year. So, nung 2016, 30% yung net income mo dun sa 100%, dun sa revenue. So, kunyari, 100 pesos yung kinita mo, 30 pesos yung net income mo. Bayad mo na lahat ng cost mo. Nung 2017, tumaas pa. From 30 pesos, 42 na yung kita mo. Pero, nung 2018, bumaba siya. Naging 25 na lang siya. Tapos, nung 2019, 21 na lang siya. As compared to the revenue nga. And ang malaking reason for that is, syempre, yung cost of services mo na tumaas. Kaya, imbes na mapunta sa yung kita, napunta dun sa cost of services mo. Of services of Converge, para we can see deeper kung ano ba yung reason kung bakit siya tumataas. So, as you can see, it's depreciation and amortization. So, it's related to the capital expenditure or investment on the capital expenditures. And the next one is bandwidth and list line cost and network materials and supplies used, most likely related to dun sa creation of backbone. In this case, ginamit nila yung depreciation as cost of services kasi importante yun yung investment mo sa pag-create ng mga linya dun sa operations mo. So, I guess that's how they recognized it. And it's okay kasi this means is that it can be utilized in the future. So, pag mas marami ka ng subscribers, mas magiging efficient na siya, mas liliit na yung cost of services mo. So, malaki lang siya at the beginning kasi mas konti pa lang yung nakakonekta na mga households sa kanya or residential lines. Ganun yung explanation nun. So, if we look at it as an investor, is it good or bad? Hindi natin masyadong masasabi kasi again, fast-growing sila ngayon eh, 'di ba? So, the fact na dumadami yung subscribers nila, tumataas yung revenue nila, halos doble per year, ibig sabihin, baka effective yung ano nila, yung costing nila. And we cannot really say unless we compare it to other companies, 'di ba? So we have to compare this to let's say Globe or Smart. And then now we move on to ratio analysis. So for ratio, syempre we have to check then some of the basics like for example, liquidity ratio. Ang liquidity ratio kasi is ito yung ratio para malaman mo kung makakabayad ba sila ng utang na current, yung utang nila na short term. So, dalawang klase ng utang. May short term, may long term. So, for liquidity ratio, check mo dito yung short term na utang. Accounts payable, kunyari, yung example natin kanina, panadero ka, 'di ba? So, kunyari yung flour mo, 30 days to pay. Ganyan, yung sa supplier mo. So, yun, accounts payable yun. Pero kapag nangutang ka para makabili ka ng oven, so yung utang mo sa bangko, let's say 5 years yun, long term na yun. So, more than 1 year is long term na. Okay, so for liquidity ratio, current ratio, ito yung current liability versus current assets mo. So, for year 2016 to 2019, bumababa siya. 'Di ba? And mas mataas, mas maganda. So, kung makikita nyo, kagaya niyan, current liability is 500 million plus. Tapos, yung current asset mo is 1 billion. So, ibig sabihin, bawat pisong utang mo, meron kang 2 piso pambayad. So, may piso ka pang matitira. Parang ganun siya. Medyo naging hindi maganda nung 2018, pero naging okay ulit nung 2019. 1.1 na siya. Quick ratio naman, ito yung tinatawag nila na acid test. Parang bigla. Kunyari, ano lang, yung basta yung current mo, tinatanggal mo dito yung inventory mo kasi minsan mahirap ibenta yung inventory. So, as you can see here, pababa rin siya. And it's not so bad for 2019 na 0.93. Medyo good na yun. Malapit na siya sa 1. Kasi yung iba mas mababa pa dyan. Okay, so solvency ratio, debt to equity ratio. What is a good debt to equity ratio? So, normally, kapag mangutang ka sa bank, ang requirement maximum is 70% is debt and 30% is equity. So, that's 2.33. And as you can see, it's lower than 2.33. So, ibig sabihin, they finance most of their assets through equity. Pwede pa silang mangutang. So, that's the debt to equity ratio, which is good. Pero in finance kasi, minsan, the more you have debt, the better for your returns. Kahit na may cost ka of financing kasi cash is king. I will discuss that next time for part 3. Pero for this session, eto muna since accounting stuff. Okay, so yung debt to asset tsaka equity to asset is pag dinivide mo lang yung etong debt to asset versus debt to equity, yon. So, ibig sabihin lang, 29 to 71 36 to 64, ganyan. 64 to 36, and 61 to 39. Ibig sabihin, 61% debt, 39% equity. And that's equivalent to 1.56 debt to equity ratio. Interest coverage ratio, parang ano to, yung sa current ratio, ilang piso meron ka bawat pisong interest na babayaran mo. So, as you can see, in 2016, 122.76. And then, right now, it's 10.08. So, mas malaki siya kasi konti lang yung utang mo. Pero right now, as long as above 1 siya, kasi kaya mong bayaran yung interest mo, syempre, mas maganda yun, di ba? So, you can pay for your debt, definitely. So, 10.08 is a good one. And then, solvency ratio, this one, syempre, the higher, the better, 'di ba? Pero, 0.19, mukhang mababa siya. Pero, I'm not sure about their industry, pero generally speaking, 20 to 25% or 0.2 to 0.25 is acceptable. And this is kind of below that. Bumaba siya. So, yung liquidity ratio is para mabayaran mo yung current na mga utang mo, pero yung solvency kasi is the long-term na utang. So, the higher the better. Kasi mas kaya mong bayaran yung long-term mo na utang. Kumbaga, kaya mong bayaran yung oven na binili mo. 'Di ba? And then, for profitability ratio, ito naman is yung profitability. 'Di ba? Kumikita ka ba? Gaano kaganda yung kita mo? So, gross profit margin, as you can see, it's going down from 65% to 51%. Pero at the same time, it's still good naman. 51% is good. Ngayon, you have to compare it as well sa competitors niya para malaman mo if it's better than its competitor or not. Pero looking at 50%, it's acceptable. Operating profit margin, it's 27%. Diniscuss natin kanina yung sa vertical analysis, if you remember. And then, sa net profit margin, yan, 21%. And return on asset, ito yung return sa bawat asset. 'Di ba? Magkano yung income mo per piso na nasa asset mo. So, this is 6%. And then, return on equity, ito yung return, which is the net income per piso na ininvest mo sa equity. Okay? So, 16%. So, is it good? Maganda ba yung 16% na ROE? Depende sa investor. So, 29 of course is good. Best yung 38%. But for some, 16% is also okay. Kasi some of the ROE are less than 20%. Ganyan, less than 15%. So, if it's higher than 15%, okay rin siya. Pero, of course, mas maganda, mas mataas. Pero, if you're looking at annual, rate niya, as you can see, pababa siya, di ba? So, medyo bumababa yung financial soundness niya over the year. So, this is just the DuPont analysis. Isinama ko lang siya. But anyways, lastly is yung earnings per share. So, of course, as an investor, importante ito na titingnan mo kasi ito yung kikitain mo per share na meron ka, 'di ba? Kano yung increase niya. And as you can see, it's going up naman from 2016 to 2019. So, as an investor, this is a good sign. But, if you look at long term, in terms of their performance, mukhang risky siya, 'di ba? Kasi you don't know what will happen in the next 5 to 10 years. Kung pababa pa rin ba siya ng pababa or tataas na ba siya. So if you plan to invest on Converge ICT, you have to make sure that etong ratios na to has to be increasing over time. So the thing is, the plan in the prospectus is to create a backbone which includes additional capital intensive investment. So it's probably started in 2019 and continuously mag-expand yan up to 2021. So if you're just thinking about that, you will know na syempre mukhang magiging pa rin siya, downward pa rin yung financial performance niya into the next 2 to 3 years. But of course, once that is set up na, then magiging okay na ulit siya kasi malaki lang naman yung investment mo at the beginning dahil malaki yung capital requirement mo for PPE. But after that, magiging better na siya. So, we don't know yet as of the moment. We have to regularly check every year probably kung ano na yung nangyayari sa kanya. But of course, we will check that later kapag naggawa na tayo ng valuation next session. So, itong session na to, nakita natin kung paano si ICT as a business, how it performed over time. Next time, we will do the valuation, including the future, the growth, kasi diba they promised this. As I read the prospectus, I think there's a lot of room for growth in terms of additional users. But we have to see it in numbers, and that's what we will do the next part 3 of Converge ICT. And give me time for that because I will be out for a while. But anyways, guys, also if you want to learn about stocks investment, you can click on the link below. I put it in the description box. You can join my classes. I will start offering that probably in October or November. So we'll see. I have to make sure that when you finish the course, you will be able to invest immediately. Hindi yung magtatanong ka pa, anong gagawin kong next? Iba yung learning and iba yung may application. So in my session, you'll definitely apply what you're learning through the weeks. So it's a 1-month thing that we will do. Yeah, so I will try to squeeze that once a week. And hopefully you can join. If you want to join, please click on the link below in the description box and fill up the form. And it's a first come, first serve. And if also you wanted to learn more in terms of fundamental analysis, deeper, parang ganitong ginagawa natin, and including valuation, a little bit of financial modeling, then it's also good for you to join my advanced class. So, but the advanced class, baka November ko pa siya i-offer because I need more time to prepare for the materials for that. Anyways, guys, so thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like it, and you can share it as well if you want. You can hit the notification button para laging updated, and of course, please subscribe. So, yun yung importante. Please subscribe para maging close pa tayo. Marami pa tayong ma-analyze na stocks together. So, there you go, guys. Thank you so much, and have a great day!